What kept you going?
What keeps me going? That's a good question. I just see the fear of poverty.
Today's story is for the dreamers out there, the fighters, the ones who refuse to let their struggles define them. And our guest who will be joining us live today will be sharing more about his story. Welcome back to What's Your Take with Sals, where every story matters and every voice counts. Before we go on, please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, let's get into it. Hello, Sals. They say curiosity killed the cat, but for me, it wasn't just curiosity, it was hope. It was the dream of a better life, the belief that if I worked hard enough, I could carve out my own place in this world. I left my country with two simple but powerful goals: to study in Europe and to find better economic opportunities. But the reality I faced when I arrived was far from what I had imagined. Without professional experience, and more importantly, without a work permit, finding a stable job was nearly impossible. Desperation has a way of making you resourceful. I picked up the clippers and I became a barber. I grabbed the brush and I became a painter. I did whatever I could to survive. Security, jobs, painting, cleaning, as far as it put food on the table, I did it. But along the way, I learned a painful truth. Not everyone will treat you fairly. I lost count of how many times I worked tirelessly only to be underpaid, or worse, not paid at all. I remember one security job where I worked five shifts but only got paid for two. It felt like a punch to the gut, but what could I do? I had to keep going. I've taken jobs where I know I was being taken advantage of, but each time I told myself, just one more step, one more chance to keep moving forward, because I knew that giving up wasn't an option. It hasn't been easy, honestly. Submitting CVs, highlighting every skill I have, hoping someone will give me a real chance. But without a work permit, my applications often led nowhere. It became exhausting, demoralizing, but I refused to stop trying. Despite everything, I still continue to study, I still continue to work, I continue to hope because my story isn't over yet. That's the spirit. So, like I said earlier, that we have a special guest joining us today. So, right now, I have him on call with us, and he will be shedding more light on his story, about his struggles, about what he has also faced. So, I have him here with us. So, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Tawab Diso. I am from Nigeria, yes, and I'm studying here in Lithuania currently.
Okay.
And basically, that's little about me, I guess.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for introducing yourself. So, having read your story and having gone through it, I must say that your story is definitely touching, and I can't imagine, the struggle. I can't imagine everything that you've also gone through to this time to be able to get to where you are. And definitely, I know that your story is still unfolding. So, I have a little, some questions that I would just want to ask you, right?
Okay.
Um, Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask you, you found yourself in a situation where you definitely were not prepared for, and you took on jobs you never thought that you would have done just to survive. So how did that experience? How did it shape you?
And to be honest, that time was a very difficult time, but taught me um, patience,
Okay.
taught me to be more hardworking and never to give up, just keep pushing. At some point, I was tired, exhausted, but then I think about the money that I used to came abroad. It was a lot. I could not let it wait, so I just have to like, no, I have to. Even though I can't make more, I have to make this money before I go back to Nigeria. So I just, just keep going and
Mm.
never to give up.
All right, that is understandable. I understand that. Okay, so I have another question. So when you were faced with these setbacks, whether it was rejection when you were submitting your CVs or something, or when you were faced with unfair judgment, anyways, unfair treatment, and you were feeling stuck. What kept you going?
What kept me going? That's a good question. I just see the fear of poverty. I don't want to be poor in this life, so I just have to do something. And to be honest, what really kept me going was then, I'll just be honest, it's just the fact that I want to be able to afford food the next day.
Mm,
Because I really didn't have much on me then. I just have to work, and sometimes I work, I'm not getting paid, and I'll just have to do something else to get paid, to get money, so I can afford the next day meal and stuff.
mm,
And again, look at my future. I did have a lot of plans when I was coming abroad, but everything seems to be failing. And I'm this kind of guy, like, no, we have to do this, I have to get to this plan again. So I have to find a way to rebuild. Basically, that's what kept me going.
all right. Thank you very much. And what would you say is your advice? What kind of advice can you also give to people, who think that, oh yes, I'm coming to Europe, and the next day I'm going to get a job and stuff, not minding what they're going to face, because many people think that coming to Europe it's very easy, right? It's a bed of roses. But with your experience, what can you tell people out there?
Actually, on that, is a two-way case. And my experience is my experience.
Hmm.
Other people's experience can be different.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, from people that I've met myself with what I've experienced as well, believe me, your expectation is not what you meet.
Mm,
The reality you're going to face when you leave your country to come abroad, wherever, even from this white country to Africa or other countries, they face something different
mm,
exactly. Whatever, just limit your expectation. Don't expect that, oh, you coming to a place and you are going to get this done. Just cancel that. Just come with the mind of, oh, you are hoping to get something better. You are willing to put in effort to make whatever it is you want to make it work. But
mm.
expecting like, oh, you're coming abroad, things are going to set, you're going to make money. My brother, my sister, 1 year, 2 years, you might be struggling there without getting, and it's not even about that getting a job. Sometimes you might be working and you don't even see the money
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
You can be working and you don't see the money. So like the expectation, just drop it. Just limit it to the
Limited,
to the
but
worst.
still
Expect the
keep
worst.
pushing.
Let me even say expect the worst basically.
Mm.
So
All
that
right.
would be my advice.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So those are the questions that I really do have for you. So thank you so much for sharing your story, for letting people also understand the struggles, because it's also not easy for people to come out and be able to say, oh, this is the struggle that I faced,
Yeah,
So thank you so much for sharing your story. It has really been insightful, and I hope that people out there too will be able to get one or two things from what you've also said. So thank you very much. All right. And yes, we've all heard his story. We've heard from the horse's mouth himself. Thanks for tuning into What's Your Take with Salves. If you know that this episode resonated with you, why don't you share this message with someone who really needs to hear it? And if you want to be on an episode like this, send me a DM or send your story to yourtakewithsalves@gmail.com. And remember, when the world says no, you have the power to say yes to yourself. Until next time.